I'm joined here today with author Jennifer Ann Gordon. Now, your book, Pretty Ugly, was the winner of the 2022 Helicon Award for Best Horror Novel. But before we get into that, could you just give some background into the book?
So first, I just want to say thank you for having me. And yes, Pretty Ugly is a contemporary dystopian novel with shades of modern Gothic and a little tiny bit of a love story thrown in there. It follows the characters of Nicole and Sam. Nicole is an Instagram influencer, and Sam is a failed politician. And it focuses them as the world ends due to kind of this catastrophic global incident that causes people's faces to start to disintegrate and I don't want to say rot off their body because it's the news. I want to be nice, but yeah, it causes severe facial deformation. So it is about who people are when they can't hide behind the masks that they've always put on, like an Instagram influencer or a politician, two people who have been trying their entire lives to be something they're not. And when they can't be that, who are they?
Yes, this sounds very interesting. And, speaking of that award, just what was your reaction when you found out that this book won?
Well, I was really excited, obviously. I didn't even know I was in the running. I didn't know anything about it. It just came across my plate. My publicist let me know. And I immediately had to first search what is the Helicon Society, because I was just like, I'd never heard of them, but they are a society that is deep into the appreciation of science fiction, fantasy, and horror and dark fiction. So I was very, very honored that people that I didn't know I was nominated, chose this book that meant so much to me.
That's great to hear. And now your other book, Beautiful, Frightening, and Silent, won the 2020 Kindle Horror Book of the Year, among other awards. So, what does it mean to you to see your work being recognized?
Honestly, it means more than I could possibly say. Uh, as a writer, so much of what we do is just by ourselves in our little writing cave, wondering if what we're writing, A, makes sense, B, is it good, C, will people think I'm weird in a bad way? Especially when you write things like horror or dark fiction, you always just wonder, is this too much? Is it not enough? And yeah, to me, it just really resonated because, writing horror, people think it's always about monsters and jump scares and things like that. But I tend to write more on the personal side. So I write about grief and trauma and how that can manifest itself through a haunting or a global disaster or something like that. So to have my horror novels, which are just really quiet stories about people having a hard time in the face of disaster, to have those stories resonate with people, it means a lot.
Now, you are also the host of your own podcast. So, if people are tuning in, what can they expect?
Oh, wackiness, first of all. So the podcast is called Vox Vomitus, which is fake Latin for word vomit. So we talk to best-selling and trending authors of the day, and we talk about not just what went right, but we really focus on what went wrong during the writing process. So people can really expect to hear a lot of fun and funny stories, sometimes embarrassing stories from our top authors of the day on how they got to where they are now.
And do you think that just having a way to have this candid conversation with other authors allows people to maybe connect more to their favorite authors and favorite books?
I think so. I know it's helped me because, yes, I'm an author, but I'm also a huge fan. I've been a reader since, I was 3. I've been lucky enough on Vox Vomitus to talk to my favorite authors. So to hear their stories and to hear that they go through what I go through and what even, upcoming authors go through, it's really, it makes you understand the writing community and why we're also bonded like this land of misfit toys together. And I think, our fans of the show really love to hear, the glimpse into the writer's cave, the process, the messiness, the amount of times we've talked to authors who say, and then I finished this book and I realized it was terrible and I threw it away and I started writing a different one.
Yes, and if anyone is looking to buy any of your books or listen to the podcast, where should they go?
The easiest place to find everything is my website, which is jenniferannegordon.com. And that's Ann with an E. And that has links to all of my books, whether you want to support your local independent bookstore or if you want to buy the books on Amazon or anywhere, there's links for everything there. It also has the links for the podcast, Vox Vomitus. If you want to listen to just the audio, I would say go to Anchor or Spotify. If not, you can just find us on Facebook or YouTube.
Thank you so much for your time today, Jennifer.
Thank you.